Hey, this is Jose with Freedom Mentoring, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the 4 core habits that I used to master myself and my emotions. Before we jump into the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything new. And if anything resonates here, share this with someone and tell them to subscribe to the channel too. So let's just jump right into this. So in order to master yourself and master your emotions, and how I particularly did it, there's 4 main habits that I used all the time in order to get to know myself, to understand myself at a very deep level. And I'll preface the 4 habits by talking about what emotional mastery really means and what mastering yourself really means. So most people, when they think about emotional mastering, what they think is that like you're gonna feel amazing all the time, or that you'll be completely absolved of any issues that ever come up in your life, and it's just not realistic, right? And I think we also developed this notion of what self-mastery really is because of things like social media and the way society portrays success. And then you've got guys like Tony Robbins and Gary Vee that, you know, every time you see them on camera, they're just like super pumped up and full of energy, right? Now, the reality is that we are human. So we experience a full range of emotions, and someone who is a master of themselves is able to acknowledge that full range of emotions, whether you're feeling great and confident and amazing about yourself and super grateful and super joyful, and at the same time can also acknowledge when they're feeling sad, depressed, frustrated, guilty, etc., etc. So the person who actually has emotional mastery is able to feel the full range of emotional expression and still be reliable to either get the job done, go get the outcome that they want, still be the leader of a group, okay? That's what emotional mastery means, and it's the person who's able to acknowledge that in life there are these peaks and troughs. There's like this rhythm, right? Think of emotions as like water, like an ocean. The water comes in and the water comes out, almost like waves. And so the people who are able to acknowledge those things in a productive way are the ones who rise to the top, who will become the most successful, who develop deep core internal alignment with who they really are, and thus they live a fulfilling life, okay? So the 4 core habits. Number 1 was journaling. Number 2 was meditation. Number 3 was getting around the right people. And number 4 was asking really tough questions, okay? So I'll break down each one very, very specifically. Now, journaling. So I'm baffled that people don't journal as much as me, right? Like I'm the type of person where not only do I have a client journal for when I'm chatting with clients, but I also have a bedside journal for whenever I have just like random inspirations at odd times, like at night. I also have a personal journal where I write down certain inspirations and thoughts that come up throughout the day, or certain feelings that I want to jot down on paper so I can analyze them later. I have a goal setting journal where I visit that every few months, at least every 6 months, where I look at how I'm doing in terms of my goals and what my progress is in each area of my life that I do have very, very prominent and urgent goals. And not only urgent goals, but also non-urgent goals that are long-term as well. So point is, I'm constantly writing things down, right? And I'm even thinking in terms of like, what's the person I want to become, right? Who am I looking to be? And the reason that you want to start to journal is because most people on this planet aren't doing this type of activity. And if you're looking to live an extraordinary life, mastering yourself and mastering your emotions is an extraordinary thing. Most people won't do it. Most people are so at the whim of how they're feeling in that moment that they don't actually get the outcomes that they want in life because emotions are all over the place, right? And so it's important for you to not only sit down and think about what you're looking to create, but to do so in a structured way that is productive, and then not just do it once, not just do it twice, but to do it consistently over time and build a habit of it. So that way you are not only learning who you are deep down on the inside, but you can expand as the months and years go on. Okay, so number 1 was journaling. Number 2 was meditation, okay? And I got my first introduction to meditation when I was about 18 or 19 years old. I had a neighbor I grew up in the suburbs of Miami in the poor apartments and stuff. And I had a neighbor who was into this type of stuff where I only met him like 2 or 3 times, and he was this like meditation, yogi type of person, right? Like very spiritual and woo-woo. And he was always a weird guy. However, what I did pick up from him was the art of meditation, and at least an introduction into it. And so meditation is when you sit down for 10, 20, 30 minutes. The duration isn't so important as long as it's not like 1 minute, right? But the whole point is to clear your mind come into your body and just focus on the present moment. And so there's tremendous, not only health benefits, but cognitive benefits as well. So when you meditate, not only do you have more oxygen circulating throughout your brain, your cortisol levels come down, and so you're able to think more clear on what it is you're looking to create. You can find solutions a lot easier in your life, and all of it is because you sat down, you allowed yourself to be here in the present moment, and all of your problems melt away temporarily. Now, once you're done meditating, obviously you come back to real life, but the whole point of meditation is for a brief moment, right? In a brief moment in comparison to the entirety of your day. You just sit down, honor who you really are, acknowledge this moment right here, right now, and just be, okay? There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to worry about. Just acknowledge who you are in this present moment. So meditation was my second habit that helped me to master myself. Number 3 was getting around the right people, right? Mentors, coaches, okay? In the last 3 years, I've personally spent $121,000 on my own personal growth and development. And then even before that, I was reading books, I was watching YouTube videos, and even, like the managers that I had at the time, the bosses that I looked up to that had certain aspects that I was looking to download into my world, I spent as much time as I could with those people, right? Because you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with most. And so if the people you are around don't have emotional mastery, are constantly complaining, aren't mastered of themselves, aren't achieving and accomplishing the life that they want, or at the very least en route to accomplishing the life that they want, right? Then you need to get around different people. And so I've always been a huge advocate for mentorship in any possible way, whether it's business, whether it's energy, whether it's in psychology and mindset, whether it's in relationships, even if it's in your physique, right? I've had coaches in absolutely every area of my life, and that's the reason I've been able to master myself and my emotions and get to a place where I don't care how I feel. I don't care how I feel in this moment. I'm still going to go out and get results. I'm still going to produce outcomes, and I'm still going to go help a shit ton of people by spreading the knowledge and the key insights that will bring you more success into your life. So leads me to number 4, which is asking tough questions. And a quote that rings in my head all the time is, I forget where I heard this quote initially, but the quote goes like this: the quality of your life will be dictated by the quality of your questions. And me being a very curious person, I've always been the type of person to ask very, very tough questions, even if it got me in trouble. In order to ask better questions, you really have to think deeply about what it is you are looking to create. Okay, because the quality of your questions will be dictated by what you're looking to create, right? So it's like, quality of the questions dictate quality of your life, but the quality of your questions are dictated by what you are looking to create with your life, okay? So that's why it's important to journal and meditate so you get clarity and get around the right people, right? And then once you get around those right people, you ask very tough questions like, what's my biggest limiting belief? What's the biggest thing getting in my way, right? You being the person who's got the knowledge and the expertise, here's my situation, here's what's going on with me, why am I not getting past it, okay? Or on the flip side, it's like, all right, look, here's what I'm looking to create, right? Here are the things that I am looking to create with my life. How do I get there faster? How do I get there in 1 year rather than 10? How do I get there in 6 months rather than 6 years? And so, these are tough questions that if you ask certain people, they might not know the answer, and you'll know someone's a master of themselves and a master of their emotions if they remain neutral to your question. And even if they don't know the answer, they'll tell you that, and then they'll help you find the answer, right? For example, like if you ask someone a tough question, like what's the secret to life? And they're not really sure, and they're not a master of their emotions, and you ask multiple times, they'll probably get flustered and shut you down, right? If you're ever around people that shut you down, that is a key indication that you're not around the right people, because high-level people have no ego about tough questions, right? They either know the answer, and if they don't know the answer, they know how to find out. And so there's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to have an emotional reaction to a tough question you don't know the answer to, because again, if it's a tough question that you don't know the answer to, that is an opportunity for new knowledge that can completely change the trajectory of your life. And so if you just started today to journal, and then to meditate, and then to get around better people, and get around better mentors. And then ask tough questions, ask the right questions. You will completely change the trajectory of your life and begin to master yourself, so much so to the point where it doesn't matter how you feel, you are still going to go out and get results. You are still going to go out into the world and you are going to win. You will attract exactly what you want effortlessly, and that's what freedom is, and that is exactly what I love to talk about. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you like the video and you like this content, share it with someone and tell them to subscribe to the channel too. That is it for me. I will be posting more stuff about this as well, but that's it for right now. Peace out.